Hi, I'm Tammy Neon, and today's video is sponsored by Car Keys Cornwall. If you like the video, please check out our other channels and don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we're going to program the keys for this Peugeot 308, made from 2014 to 2021. We've come out to this Peugeot 308 today to program in these two keys. I have an original key from the car and this Xhorse key, which I've pre-coded to be a 2013 3-button Peugeot key. The OBDstar X300DP is already plugged into the car. From the main screen, we select Car IMO. To find our car, I'm going to select Europe, then scroll across to Peugeot Citroën DS and select it before finally confirming our selection by pressing Enter. At this point, the OBDstar configures its internal multiplex and loads in the correct data. Once loaded, it gives us 5 options. First, read pin code. Second, auto detect model. Third, manual select model. Fourth, manual select model Brazil. And lastly, manual select system. Working backwards, manual select system. This gives us 4 options: blade, remote, proximity, and replace engine ECU. Manual select model brings up a list of cars. Auto detect is the VIN read option, and we're going to come back to that later. However, first we have read pin code. Now, if you see read pin code, you need to be doing that first, because what it is telling you is that the device is not going to automatically find that pin code during the programming process. Let's read pin code. Selecting it brings up 2 options: add keys read and all keys lost read. The all keys lost read requires an internet connection and will activate the BSI and read both the EEPROM and the flash to decode the pin. If you want to see that process, please look at our Autel IM608 video programming this car. As I have the key, I can use this option, add keys read, and it will read the pin code from a CAN data sniff. Let's start the process. Here it warns us that this process could take up to 10 minutes. Our first instruction is to make sure the ignition is off, which it is because our keys are here. Press Enter. Our next instruction is to press Enter and then switch the ignition on. It is best to do this with the key out of the ignition, as most systems will detect the key going in and read the transponder immediately. Enter. And it's retrieved the pin code. In this case, 9YDK, and that took about 5 to 7 seconds. Press Enter, and we can switch the ignition off. Now we need to go back to our first screen. Now I can either do this by pressing Escape or by using this little back arrow here. Back at the first page, I'm going to try the auto detect model. Selecting Peugeot, we now have the option to read the VIN by pressing Read. Our VIN has popped up and it's correct. Pressing Enter, it asks us to confirm the entry of the VIN. It's come back as a Peugeot, but it's also come back as a 408, and this is a 308. Now, it might be fine just to carry on from here, but I'm not happy with that selection, so I'm going to go back to the first page and go through the manual select model process. Entering the manual select screen gives us the option of Peugeot Citroën DS. This isn't going to load in different programs, just different screens of models we can choose from. So in Peugeot, we can scroll down to 308, and again it wants us to select our area which is Europe. Next, the type of key, blade or proximity. This is a blade key, so we shall select that. On this screen we have two options, 2007 to 2013 and 2013 onwards. Now this car is a 64 plate, so it's 2014, so I'll select 2013 onwards. The OBDstar is now giving us only one option, all keys lost. Now this doesn't mean that you've lost all the keys. It's actually telling you that the process is to delete all of the keys in the memory and then add only the keys you have present. You need to have two keys to do this, so if you are doing an AKL, you will need to generate two transponders. One can be a reusable type if you're only supplying one key to the customer. You also need to tell the customer that if they have any spare keys at home, they're not going to work. We now need to turn on the ignition, which it is, and a warning pops up about the key deletion. We accept this, so press enter. Another warning pops up that says if we enter the PIN code wrong, the process isn't going to work. Be aware that if you do enter the wrong PIN code, it will still delete all of the keys, but it won't program the keys in. Also, you won't be able to recover the PIN code by the key read option we did. You will have to use the all keys lost option to read the BSI. Pressing enter takes us to the PIN code entry screen. Let's input 9YDK. We have to retract the keyboard by pressing these arrows to expose the enter. Press enter. We have to check the code we've entered is correct and then press enter again. A message appears to tell us the PIN code is correct. Press enter. This page wants to know how many keys we're programming today. It's 2, so I'll press 2, retract the keyboard and press enter. Check I'm correct and confirm by pressing enter again. Following the on-screen prompts, switch the ignition off and press enter. And then switch the ignition on within 15 seconds. Automatically it programs the key in and we get a message saying program success. Turn the ignition off and press enter. Now we need to insert our second key and repeat the process. Program success, switch the ignition off and remove the key. Now both of our keys are programmed to the car, we need to check that the car starts. Which it does, yes! Now let's see if the remote works. Which it doesn't, so we're going to need to do a remote sync. To do this, we need to put the key in the ignition, turn it on without starting it, and then press and hold any button for 10 seconds. Now, I have seen people try and do this with the key that they're trying to program. However, it's much easier just to use your second key. So I'm going to put this one in the ignition and turn it on, and press and hold any key on the remote I'm programming for 10 seconds. On. 1, 2. Turn the ignition off, take out the key and see if it works. Which it does. Brilliant. Back to the studio. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below.